this. I don't know if you just came in here. We both have them, but we don't have them on it. Men have more masculine energy and women have more of the feminine energy. Yes, we do have both. Because if we try and tell somebody that we don't, that would not be true because men also need a little bit of that femininity to balance themselves out too. You can't just be all masculine. And so women have them in them as well. We both have both of them. But as women, we have begun to dig down into our masculine energy over our feminine energy, and it has become a survival mechanism. It is something that we have adapted to and we have changed to. DJ G, you said not all men. I know I didn't say all men. I don't know if you're talking to me or not. We're not talking about all men in here. We're just talking about those that this pertains to, right? Because the majority of the Black families are not where they need to be. Black men nor Black women are. So we're talking about where we are as a whole, looking at us just in general, right? Now we know these things are issues. But as I was saying, we begin to morph into something that we weren't truly meant to be, sisters. And it is damaging us. For all of us that have to be tough, and I understand it, right? I understand that we have to be tough and we have to learn to survive because of the conditions that we have been put in. So I'm not mad at you, for that. Because I'm the same thing. I've been through a whole lot in life, but I just know how to turn it on and turn it off, right? But I just want us sisters to be real with each other for a moment. Let me talk to you like there ain't no brothers in the room. They can listen, but we're talking to the sisters, right? For all of us that run around here and we take care of everything that we take care of on our own, and we have to walk around like we're a superwoman, and we do all these things for our kids, and we work all these jobs, and we come home and we're trying to, do you really want to do that? When a brother disrespect you, do you want to have to jump in his face and act like you finna fight him? Let's be honest, sisters. How many of us would really love to come home and knowing that when we do go home, that there is a man that is there helping us pull this load? That you don't have to fight men, that men deal with men, and you can deal with women, and you don't have to be trying to fight a damn man, right? You don't have to be out there doing all of the masculine things, all of the lifting, all of the men things, all of that, the work with your hands. You don't have to do any of those things. And when the kids are stressing you out, guess what? Let's be honest, lady. How many of us yell at our kids and they just look at you like, whatever, mom? Y'all don't really wish that you had a daddy to come in the room, a man in that house that's their father, to go in the room, and where you got to say 5 times, didn't I tell you to stop? All he got to do is go in the room and give them a look. Because it's something about the masculinity and the bass in his voice. And when a daddy comes in there and he says, hey, the kids get in line. There's something about the energy that they bring that reverence and that respect is automatically given. Out of a love type of fear thing. Like, don't tread on daddy, right? When men speak, even if it ain't their father, watch how babies look at men when they begin to speak all that bass in their voice. They want to know where that energy coming from in the room. Wouldn't y'all love to be able to have that and not have to fight life alone? I mean, is there something really wrong with, I don't know, watering the plants in your house and mopping floors and baking cakes and cooking Sunday dinner and making sure that if your man has been out at work all day, he come home to a good meal? Like, do we not take pride in that anymore? There's nothing wrong with that. Stop letting society make you think that that's not okay. It is. It's a beautiful thing. I don't know about y'all. I get tired of fighting the world by myself. I don't know about y'all. I'm tired. I'm tired of fighting every motherfucking thing by myself. I don't want to do none of this shit around here that I got to do that normally men do. And see, I was married for many years. So see, I would tell you this. I'm glad to be free from a situation that I was in that didn't keep me happy. But I will tell you there's a lot of shit that's, the fact that he's not in his house no more. I'd be like, damn, I remember when he used to do that. I don't want to go shovel the snow. He used to go shovel the snow. He tightened up all the doorknobs in the house. If some shit fell down, he fixed it. He took the car and got the oil changed. He knew about cars. Nobody played him on price. I still got to call my ex-husband now when something is wrong with my car so that he can take it to the mechanic and then get it all taken care of and then let me go drop it off. Because when I walk in there, they tell me any and everything is wrong with my motherfucking car because I'm a woman and I must be dumb. But when a man go in there, they give them a little bit more respect. We got to stop acting like our men don't bring something to the situation that I don't care how tough you are as a woman. It's just some shit you can't do. Just like I'm 5'2" and I just can't fucking reach the light fixture on my front porch, so I can't change it. I don't want to. Women, if you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and you hear somebody bamming at your door, don't you want to wake up your man and let him confront what's at that door and not you? Do you ever get to a point where you like, I just don't know what to do anymore in life? And so you go call your girls and you go get some more women perspective? When you ever just like not to know and have somebody else say, well, look, let me bring another perspective, right? I got this. Let me help you figure this out. We got to stop acting like we don't need our men. Because too many of us say, we don't need no man. Shout out to you, Q Butter in the house. Black power, black power, black power. I know that's right, brother. Right? Somebody said that's not LGBTQ. No, we're not talking about LGBTQ. Like at the end of the day, do whatever the hell you want to do. But we're talking about family. We're talking about a man and a woman and children and what family should be and how it's been destroyed. And it's not the black man's fault. It's not the black woman's fault. If we understand how we got here, and at a point, the point is that we need to get out of it. So I'm going to need us sisters to realize that this is the position we're in. I need us just, you know how you go to AA and shit? And they be like, and they got to stand up and be like, my name is such and such, and I am an alcoholic. You got to admit you got an issue before you can ever fix it. I'm going to need us sisters to start saying out loud to ourselves, we need our men. Too often are we so quick to say, I don't need no man. Stop speaking that shit. Too often are we so quick to call our man bitch ass, you bitch ass nigga. That's only because you ain't ran into a man that ain't a bitch ass nigga. Because I promise you, sisters, you meet you a man who walks in masculinity, not that shit that they try, toxic. I'm not talking about all of that bullshit. I don't believe in toxic masculinity. Find yourself a real man. You ain't met a real man if you continue to walk around and say shit to men like, you just a bitch ass nigga. Because a real man, you wouldn't dare look at him and say to him, even in your anger, you just a bitch ass nigga. You wouldn't even be able to fix your lips to say that shit because everything about him, you would know that wouldn't even be right to say. And I'm going to say something we might not like is if all these men is bitch ass niggas, if they ain't had no daddy, who raised these bitch ass niggas? You see, you hear people making all these jokes. Somebody's son, right? They your son, because ain't no daddy around this motherfucker. So how you raising your sons? How are you raising your sons? Because yes, we can say we blame the fathers because they're not in the home and they should be there to raise their kids. And that father's absence definitely has an impact on those kids' life, but so does your presence. So what are you doing with your presence? That we're raising all of these boys that walking around being some damn bitch ass niggas, as we like to say. No, the solution is not effective, right? Instantly. But what I will tell you is first, let me say to sisters this. We have to take responsibility. And let me tell you why we have to take some responsibility. Not that the men don't have to take no responsibility, but as I told you tonight, this is not a bash of the sisters. So please, sisters, don't take it that way. What I'm saying to you is that I can't make men do nothing. And we need our men. And I'm giving you that perspective. But from a woman's perspective, we are the ones that are in the home raising these children majority of the time. We're the ones doing it. We're raising our children. We're the ones taking on the whole household. We have taken on the role of the mother and the father. So since the children are in our custody, they're with us. We're the ones having the effect on who they are most of the time. It is up to us to have to do something different if we want to change the scenario now. See, the government got us as women in a position where they said, you don't need no men, let us help you. And now we're all alone in a very large scale and we're raising kids by ourselves. So now that we're alone, we need to do something about the situation. Because we actually play to the situation of constantly putting our men off and acting like it doesn't matter that we need them in their lives. In our lives and in our kids' lives. Janine said it's up to us. Okay, it's always up to us. That's not true. That's not true. But what I'm asking you is that if boys grow up to be men who don't respect women, who don't want to be the protectors and the providers, if you raise them, whose fault is that? Now, I'm not saying it's your fault if they daddy ran off. Sometimes shit happens. But do you have a father, their grandfather? Do they have uncles in their lives? Do we make it a point to make sure that we place men in our children's lives? Or are some of us so busy running men off because, bitch, girl, I'm a feminist in this motherfucker. I don't need no man to do nothing for me. Like, is that your approach? Because if that is your approach, I don't know. If I was a boy and I heard my mama steady running around talking about how she don't need no man and I'm about to grow up and be a man, I'm gonna fucking think that women don't need men. Because I heard my mama say it all her life. So no, it's not our fault, but you have the first access to the family right now. You have access to the family. You the father, you the mother, you the everything to these kids. So who else is supposed to start changing the dynamic of the family if you're the family? First of all, I would say that we need to get men in our sons' lives, but also in our daughters. And I'm not saying just any man, because society is crazy as fuck, but y'all don't have families. Place them around men at every chance that you can get in the sense of this. Send your sons to a boxing gym. Is there a black man there that teaches? Guess what? He's going to see that man several times a week. That man is going to be teaching him some discipline. He's going to teach him about his fighting skills, but there's also discipline in that. So do that. If your child needs a tutor, right, that's going to help your kids after school or help them around school on purpose, go find a black male for your son. Right. Take them to the barbershop, get their hair cut. They can still learn by placing them around men, but don't constantly have them around women. Because I'm telling you right now, this is why the fuck all these boys is gonna want to wear dresses. If we don't want men and we don't need our men, and what the fuck they want to be a man for? Ryan, you just in here late, brother. I'm just making a point. I've been said, I say that all the time, that sisters, women cannot be men. I just said that. But I'm saying the point I'm making right now is that if women have become all of this, because this is what we say in the black community, we say we the mother, we the father, we do everything in the house. So what I'm saying to black women is, because there was a comment that says as black women, it's always up to us to change everything, but that's not true. But if we're talking about the dynamic of the family, black women are the ones that have their hands around the family more than anybody else. We're the one raising these kids and they're in the home with us. So it has to start with us. You have to begin to say what is wrong with this and let me place what I need to place into my children's life. But even for your life too, sisters, we need our brothers. And I know some of us don't know how that feels, right? And yes, brothers, we need y'all to protect us and all of those great things, right? But these men were boys and they're being raised by somebody, and it's usually their mom. So I need us to get through our mind that we can't raise boys to be men. So if you want the next generation of boys to grow up being real men, that means, sisters, stop having babies with brothers you don't fucking want to be a parent with. There's the morning after pill. There's abstinence. There's condoms. There is, shout out to you, Area 51. There is a such thing as knowing your cycle. Yes, ladies? Brothers might not know this, but sisters, we know this. There's a certain time of the month, if you know your cycle, that you can have all the sex that you want and you will not get pregnant because there are no eggs in your womb to be fertilized. The men don't know this. You know what that time is. So stop having babies first and foremost. So y'all want to know the solutions? Y'all might not like the solutions. Stop having babies with men that you don't want to be parents with. Stop having babies with men that you ain't even consider being married to. Don't you think you owe your children the wonderfulness of having a mother and a father when they're born? What's wrong with being married, y'all? Stop with the baby daddies. What about a fucking husband? And if you ain't got one, don't have no kids. So let's just start right there. Start right there. You carry the baby, you birthed the baby. Daddy's, you what they say, mama's baby, daddy's maybe. So at the end, you're the one stuck with the baby if he run off and the baby is stuck with you in a life that they really don't even deserve or didn't want. Not having a father around. So let's stop having babies. And if you're not going to be married to somebody, can you at least have a baby with somebody that you think is a good parent? So what I mean by that is, if you meet a brother and he already got 3 kids and he don't pay his child support and he don't take care of them, he don't ever go see them, and he got 3 kids with 3 baby mamas, the fuck is you having a baby with him for? Let's be real about the psychology of that, sisters. Can we break that down a little bit? Why are you having a baby with him? You know, there was a time when people had babies and women were like, oh my God, I'm having a baby. They couldn't wait for their baby to come because they wanted a little girl and they wanted a little boy and they couldn't wait to be a mother. So they couldn't wait to give them baths. They couldn't wait to, teach them how to talk and teach them how to walk. I can't wait to cook for my baby. Like, they wanted to be parents. They wanted to be mothers. I'm going to be honest with you. There are a lot of women today, y'all have babies because you think babies keep niggas. We ain't learned yet in 2020 that babies do not keep men. I would think we would know that by now. Like, if we went back 20 years, I might give y'all credit for that. You thought if you got pregnant, dude was going to stay. I think we should learn by now that babies do not keep men. Thank you for the donation. He said when that young man joins the NFL, he's mama's boy. When he joins the gang, it's daddy's fault. Ashe, Sister Nietzsche. Right. It's both. When he joined the gang, it's both their fault. So let's start there, ladies. Okay, let's not have any more babies other than the fact that you are married to somebody, you want to start a family with somebody, and at the very least, can you at least do this much? Make sure they're a good father. If you don't think they're going to be a good parent, why would you have a baby with them? If I didn't think you were a good business partner, I wouldn't want to go into business with you. Yes, Brian, I agree. That's what I said. Get your sons into some type of boxing, wrestling, combat that's usually taught by other men. It helps them deal with some of that masculine energy and get it out, but in a disciplined manner, and to be around other masculine energy. I agree with that. Vanessa says she dated a man and he lied about how many kids he had. But see, if you date a man for some time, now y'all might think this ridiculous about stuff. And some might be like, girl, that's your business. But I'm just keeping it real up in here, right? How long should you date a man before you even be talking about having a baby with him? How long should you date a man before you give him some? Or are we in the culture that you got to give me some right away? Like, we'll get to learn to know each other later. It's been like a year. I ain't had sex with nobody. Because I don't just go have sex with people. We'll meet somebody and 2 weeks later, we having sex. They lied to you for 3 months. If you stick around long enough, you will find out what you need to know before you lay down with somebody. Shit, this day and age, make a brother hang around for 3 weeks. If he only want to hit it and you ain't gave him nothing, he gonna be gone. You can figure that out in a month. Take some time to get to know each other. Know something about them. How are you getting pregnant and having babies with men, or thinking about being serious with a man? You ain't met his mama. You ain't met whether know he got a daddy or not. You don't know if he has other kids. You don't know if he can take care of himself. Do he got a car? How does he act when he get angry? Do he lose his temper? Do he got a mind? Can you communicate with him? What is the shit that he do that you can't stand about him? We've been moving too quick. But what you in a hurry for? A hurry to what? Get your heart broke one more motherfucking time? Slow down. Take some time, and we might not always find ourselves in these situations. It's okay. I know the media tell you supposed to be getting it in, bumping and grinding. Go on, girl, show off that little donkey booty, put you on some motherfucking G-strings or whatever. No, it's okay to not just be having sex with everybody. And you know that I'm not no religious person. Like, oh my God, I'm saving myself for marriage. Shit, I got all kind of kids. I done been married, everything else. I'm not saving myself for shit, but in the sense that I'm not giving myself away to any motherfucker. I'll wait. Sisters, y'all need to learn how to wait. Make your way down to the sex stove. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to help yourself be pleased. You don't need no dude that bad in your life that you can't take the time to figure out what you're getting into before you fucking get into it. We already talked about how having sex is a very powerful ritual, and you can't keep laying down with everybody not knowing what this person got all inside of them and all of that shit that they pouring inside of you. You know, that's the closest you can ever be to a person. You don't let a man be inside of you. He inside of you. That's as close as anybody can get to you, other than a baby that he can place inside of your stomach. And we don't take that and for a moment just say, hold on, is you even worthy of this? And then in the midst of all of that, we bring babies into shit that we not ready for. We not prepared for because of some heated night of passion with some dude that's fine, but he a piece of shit. And now you mad because he not there. But you knew he was a piece of shit, or you didn't stay around long enough to find that out. Stop having babies. There are so many ways that you can have sex with people. You can do what you want to do, and you don't have to bring babies into the equation at all. Like, can we start having babies when we have several things down in our life? Which one would be, shout out to you, Georgia Peach. I imagine that's what GA stands for. Thank you for that. You wish you had heard this in your 20s. I wish I knew this in my 20s. Let me tell you something. I didn't know all of this in my 20s. I didn't love myself either. So I'm not telling you nothing that I don't know. I was running around looking for attention too because my daddy wasn't the kind of daddy he needed to be. I would tell you that every bit of fast and every type of attention I was trying to get, that's why I had a baby at 16. Because I was just looking for some attention from a man, the attention I didn't get from my father. And I can say that now. I didn't know that's what it was then. I didn't know this in my 20s either. But let's start having children when we're ready for children. Meaning that you're in a stable relationship, preferably a marriage, that you can afford to take care of your babies. Like, why you have kids and be in housing and be on welfare talking about, oh, well, we struggling, one day we gonna make it out the hood. You know, you could have made it out the hood a whole lot sooner had you just waited and not had kids and got your grind on. You want to work 2 and 3 jobs now because you got to feed your kids and keep a roof over their head, but you weren't willing to do that to get out the hood, make yourself financially stable, find the right person, and then have a baby. Like, usually that's how you're supposed to bring a baby into this world. But we have been taught in society and the way we've been conditioned, like that's not how we're supposed to have kids. Our communities would be better off. Our children would be much better off if we waited to do those things. We got to stop having babies and bringing them into our dysfunction and then struggling through life and say, mama doing the best she can, baby. You weren't doing the best you could, because if this is what your life is like, then you should not bring children into that situation. Now, I'm not saying we haven't all made our mistakes. Like, I had a baby when I was 16 years old, but I was wise enough to know that I wasn't having another baby until I got on my feet, and I didn't have another child for 7 years. I was on purpose. I did that. I'm not having no more goddamn kids until I am in a position that I know that I'm stable. I got married when I was very young. Now I'm married. I was married now, y'all. I was running around this market. I had as many kids I wanted to, and I did. Shit. For like 1 month in my house, my kids are stair steps in this motherfucker. Pretty soon, look, in November of this year, I will have children that are 16, 17, and 18 for a whole month, stair steps. But I was married. And you know something I said to my daughter today? We were sitting here talking and we were having this conversation, and she was like, you know, mom, because I was telling her she don't have the kind of life that I grew up having, and she doesn't have the type of life that a lot of kids have. And so she was like, yeah. I was like, but don't like feel bad for that. Like, I'm glad that you don't have to experience that. And my children have dealt with the pain of knowing their parents got a divorce. But what my kids don't have the pain of is not knowing where their daddy is, or knowing who their daddy is, or saying their daddy don't want them, or they don't love them, or their daddy has rejected them. Now, my oldest that's in jail, he dealt with that. But I had a baby when I was real young and I was being stupid, but I made a choice not to be stupid after that again for the sake of my children. So my other children, they have a pain, but they have a different type of pain. Not to say that the divorce didn't affect them, but I would rather have my children say my mom and daddy got divorced than to not be able to say that their parents wasn't never married, or that they don't know who the fuck their daddy is, or their daddy don't care nothing about them. I think that sometimes when we have babies, we do it for selfish reasons. We're not thinking about that child at all. We're thinking about ourselves and whether to keep this man or not. And maybe we're thinking about having those babies because it'll give you a place to stay. Because when you don't have a kid, you can't get in housing. If that's the reason you have a baby, slap yourself all the way. But I know sisters who do that. As soon as it's time to grow up and get out of mama housing, guess what? I'm gonna have me a baby just so I can get in housing. You having babies to learn how to live? To put a roof over your head? There are women that do that shit. And then we wonder why we're in so much destruction. They took the black men out the homes, and ever since then, we so proud to run around here screaming, I don't need no man. Yes, the fuck we do. Brothers, we need y'all. They lying. They don't know the fuck they talking about. They kind of, living in the hood, all that weed we smoke. We lying. We don't know the fuck we talking about. We need our men. Yes, the fuck we do. And our children need y'all. So we think we got a bunch of little gangbangers and bitch-made boys running around here. Mothers, are those your bitch-made sons? Who raised them boys? Did you teach your daughter to be independent and strong? While you taught your sons not to do anything else because you just didn't even know how? So now they mama's boys and they waiting for you to take care of them. And this is why they don't take care of any women. And they think they can hit a woman, and they think that they don't have to provide, and they just gonna go lay up on some girl's couch. And then you got all of these girls willing to take care of boys because that's what my mama did. She took care of everything. So now the whole entire role has been reversed. Women are supposed to be the providers, and they go out and do all of this shit, and nobody looks to a man for anything anymore. And I want you to know that it's going to be much easier to put dresses on our boys because of that too. Because subconsciously, if I'm sitting in a motherfucking house and I'm a boy and I'm looking at all of these women and there ain't no man around to tell me what I'm supposed to be, and then society says, fuck it, you can put on a dress, and all I've ever heard is, I don't need no man. Men ain't shit. Niggas ain't shit. Your daddy ain't nothing. Look just like your motherfucking daddy. Well, maybe I want to look like my daddy. So I'm going to put on a dress, mama, and I'm going to look just like you. Maybe you'll approve of me more. Maybe I won't have all the stress of society trying to tell me to be a man. I don't know what the fuck a man is. Have you ever considered that? No, I'm not saying you're going to put a dress on none of your boys, but since society is making it more acceptable, watch how many boys would choose that role. Because they're not telling you to be gay. They're trying to tell you that you can still be a man, but wear a dress. Maybe if I wear a dress, people won't expect me to be so much of a man because I have no idea what the fuck a man is. This is what our boys are saying. Bella said that's not how that works. Let me tell you something. It does work that way. Let me give you an example. Through psychology, me and my daughter was talking about this earlier, right? You don't have to be 17 and decide to put on a dress at 17. Jalissa, thank you for that. My sperm donor had 23 kids. Oh, outside of his marriage and 4 in it. All of the women were led to and blamed for it. No, he a lie. He trifling his He trifling as hell. No, brother gonna hold that L, right? And let me tell you something. There's exceptions to that rule. I'm not saying that people don't lie to you and they don't play you, or you get into stuff and then later find out it's not what it is. But majority of people, when it comes to women and relationships, even with men, we just don't stick around long enough before we get too heavily involved to decide if we really want to be with this person. And by the time we are pregnant in a situation where it's too far gone, then we realize we don't like this person. When that's what I'm saying. Relationships should take longer to evolve this day and age. We so quick. Oh, I met you at the club. Next week, I love you. 2 weeks later, you my boo. 3 weeks later, we taking pictures on Instagram. 4 weeks later, baby, I think I'm pregnant. I don't even know you a month, bitch. And you do be pregnant. We're moving too fast. But let me tell you, because I ain't forget what you said, let me tell you how what I just said about our boys wanting to be in dresses work. So when you're growing up, children have in their mind what's called a schema, right? A schema is like a picture like a spider web, okay? And in this spider web is all these different pictures of things that come together and tell you what's what. So for example, kids start to say, okay, so things that walk on 4 legs are animals. People walk on 2 legs. So animals walk on 4 legs, right? So you might see a dog and say, oh, dogs are on 4 legs. But then you see a cat and the cat don't look like a dog, but it has 4 legs and it meows and it says something different. So then you start saying there's a difference in animals, but animals walk on 4 legs. So I get to see human beings. No, this is a schema. They're building up what is right and what's wrong in life, right? So when you have a child that is very small, 5, 6, 7 years old, they're walking around watching you do the shit that you do. There's no man in the house. And all they see is women and girls. And then society starts to tell them, oh, you can wear dresses. It's on the Disney Channel. It's in school when they go to school and all of these different things. And there's no man to combat that with his pants and his actions, being a father in the home. And then if you hear your mother, God forbid, running around telling you how much you look like your damn daddy, like she's mad at you for looking at like your dad, there are no other men around. So what the fuck do I want to be a man for? And mom's constantly running around talking about how she don't need no man because she's so strong and independent. Oh, trust me, that might not equate to your 5-year-old putting on a dress then because you buy his clothes, but that doesn't mean subconsciously something not going to root in him real deep, and he's going to decide he doesn't even want to be a man, and he's going to decide that real early, and his schema is going to tell him, don't nobody want to be no man. Men are not wanted around here. Women seem to be the ones that are powerful and strong, and society says that men can wear dresses anyway, so why don't I emulate that? Because I've never seen any goddamn thing else. And even when they look to media, they're going to begin to see men in dresses. Now, understand this dress thing going on in society. It doesn't have anything to do with just being gay. They're trying to actually tell you that your men can wear dresses but not be gay. So understand that. All of these people in dresses are not transgenders. When they're telling you shit like your boys can be princesses too, they're saying your boy can be a boy, but why can't boys wear nail polish like girls? They're trying to blend all of the gender roles and all of the normalities of genders and what we do and how we dress and how we act. So they're hoping in the future that even though you're a straight man and you say you want to be with women, that you'll be okay with walking around in a dress because it makes you seem more, you're not a threat anymore. And you don't even feel like a threat, because who the fuck feels strong like you go whoop some ass walking around in a dress? I'm a girl, and when I'm ready to fight, I take off my dress too. Do you understand what I'm saying? So with society helping your children, and if we don't put the male figures in front of them, and we don't do those things, and it's just all these women in the house, this is why boys are growing up like this. I told you earlier, feminine energy carries more what? Emotion. So why do we have our boys running around here crying and throwing fits like girls? Why are they ready to argue with girls? Why are they ready to fight girls? Why is boys gossipy these days? They need a daddy and they like to tell them to shut the fuck up. That's what women do, son. We don't sit around here and gossip. Boys act like girls today, and that's why. Because they're walking around looking at their mothers and their sisters as examples. That's not true, Mr. Styles. Women don't want men, they only want servants. That's not true. That's not true. Because let me tell you something. Black women, we want men in our life, but I'm going to tell you that the pickings are slim. They are. There's a lot of men out here that I would not give the time of day. And it's not that I don't give brothers the time of day, but none of them are not worth my time of day. I run into really good men, but you know what I also run into? Grown ass men who are going on 50 years old, who are in their 40s and don't even know how to keep a fucking roof over their head. I be wanting to ask them, have you ever even had your own place? How the fuck you 45 and you don't even fucking, you've never had a roof over your head. You can't even pay your own rent. You know how y'all say women call y'all up and you know, you meet them and the first thing they tell you is what they need $40 for? Do you know that I run into men who do the same thing? You be having a nice conversation and then they want to tell you how they broke and they need to borrow some money or they got a situation to have to do with money. Men do that shit today too. And then you got men who want to talk to you really good and really nice. And then you get to talking to them and they seem like they're okay on the up and up. And then you finish talking to them and then you find out they got 6 kids. My 4 baby mamas. I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't. So men ain't out here bringing they A game either, but I don't think they even know they have an A game because they've been raised in a C game. So they don't even know how to reach for no B and no damn A. So trust me, it's not plenty of men out here to choose from because of the conditions and the environment that we have been put in and what our black men have become due to conditioning and what our black women have become. It's really not really good picks out here. And I'm not telling you men that you got all these wonderful sisters to pick from either, because that's not true either. So as much as I'm saying about the sisters, let's be clear, brothers. There are plenty of good women out here, just like there are good men. But it's very hard to run into them because if it's not one thing, it's another. And what I don't need is a man in my house that don't know how to be a man. You know what I also run into a whole lot? Let me tell you this. I run into a whole lot of men that may have their own life together. They may be able to take care of themselves. They may be able to keep a roof over their head. They may be able to do all of that, and they might be really good at that. But then you know what some of their next problem is? You know what the next problem is? Because they're trying to find out how to be a man, just like women are trying to be in charge and tell men what to do. The men who usually have all that going on, they still have a complex. And their complex is that because they didn't have a daddy, they still trying to be somebody's daddy all the time. So you know how many of the men that I run into that they're not sure, even though they have their security with their job and shit, they're not really secure about their masculinity. So in their masculinity, they feel that they have to overpower me and tell me what the fuck to do, like they my daddy. That don't work for me either. So let's not get that twisted, brothers. Protecting and providing doesn't mean that you check me like I'm your child. I'm grown just like you grown. We have conversations, right? Now, there is a difference between us respecting one another and me having a man that says to me, baby, I got this. And I know that in his tone and in his look, he wants me to shut the fuck up because he got this. I'm going to shut the fuck up because my man got this, right? But that's a difference between you trying to tell me what to do. See, I run into a lot of men that even though I'm about to be 41, they always talking about, well, you know, I was just, you know, maybe you could do this a little different. Or, you know, I was just thinking, and I've had people who, you know, they love me. I'm talking to me and they watch my show. They know who I am, you know, and then we turn it around and they've been watching my show and they've been talking to me. And then they want to tell me how, you know what, I thought, you know, I really love your commentary and stuff, but I be trying to play it for other people, baby. And you ever thought about, you know, maybe when you talk, not, you know, cussing as much as you do. Wait a minute. What? Here you come trying to tell me, see, I'm grown. What I don't need, I do need a man, right? I need a man to be the man in this household to bring that balance of energy and personality that I can never have because I'm not a man, right? But what I don't need him to do is to come in here and try and raise me and tell me what the fuck I need to be doing as though I'm his child. And if you need to rule over me to make you feel more like a man, then you got a problem too. Because it ain't about you ruling over me. See, understand, a lot of times men get this twisted, and that's the problem when you don't have fathers and you don't have these figures in your home. You think that being a man means being overbearing and overpowering to everything else that seems weaker than you. And somehow, because you've been told you should protect women, you tend to think that that means we're weak. Femininity doesn't make us weak. So I may need you to protect me in certain situations, but that doesn't mean that I don't have an opinion. That doesn't mean that you can't let me be who I am. Am I right? You know how many men that have all those things going on for them, and then you know what my issue will be with them? The issue will be that they actually be upset at me. How many of you women have dated men, and because what you're doing in your career or in your life and the money you make or whatever you're doing far exceeds what they're doing, and somehow they supposed to be trying to kick it with you, but it seems like they're in competition with you, or the fact that you're doing well, they're so insecure that it threatens their manhood because you too much of a woman. How many of you sisters run into that? I know it's the most ridiculous thing that I've ever fucking seen. Like, how do you like me? You want to date me? We should be talking about building a life together, a fucking empire, right? Legacies. If I bring much to the table, you should be glad. Now you go bring some shit to the table and our shit could get even bigger. I run into men that are intimidated and would like me to be a little less powerful than I am. They would like me to not have as much going on the ball as I do because somehow it shines a light to them. Yes, insecure than a motherfucker on what it is they're not doing because somehow they're comparing themselves to me, which probably comes back to the fact that they didn't have a daddy, because you shouldn't be up here competing with a woman because you're a man, especially not a woman you claim you want to be. Still comes back to the fact that your daddy wasn't there. Because you running around trying to compete with me instead of just being the man. Go do your motherfucking thing. Let me do my thing. And watch how when we bring it together, how much more powerful we are. Don't compete with me, dummy. We on the same fucking team. You don't know that? I thought it was yes. It's the most ridiculous thing I ever seen. Wanda, I was tripping. Like, how do you want to date somebody? How can you be trying to date somebody or be in a relationship and a motherfucker is jealous of you? Didn't have no daddy. That's what it really come down to. So don't get me wrong, brothers. I'm not saying y'all like that, and I'm not saying we don't need y'all, because we do. The black man and woman are divided as fuck. And the bottom line is, don't y'all see the devastation in our communities? Do we not understand what's going on? So at this point, it does matter how we got here. But that has nothing to do with the fact that now that we're here, it's our responsibility to get out of it. Just like I tell you, when it comes to us getting free, ain't nobody coming to save us. Who the fuck put us in this position? The black family and the black community is all fucked up. And we know where the root of it came from. But the point is, we're here now. So what are we going to do to fix that shit? Because the responsibility for us to get up and be better as families and as communities, that solely lies on us. Reparations ain't going to fix that shit for us. No amount of money gonna fix that shit for us. Jesus not gonna fix that shit for us. We have to fix that shit for us. We have to understand that it's a problem and see something wrong with it. And the reason I was speaking to the sisters earlier more than anybody is because, one, I'm a woman. So I'm speaking from a woman's perspective because that's the one that I know the best, because that's what I am. But as I said, majority of these households are run by women. So sisters, if we're going to start to make a difference in our families, right, and in our communities, it's going to have to start with the way that we see our households and what we do and what we place and how we go about what we do in our households with our children and how we go about having families. We do need our kings. But so let's continue to say that instead of calling them bitch ass niggas all the time. We do need each other. So brothers, what y'all say? Like, can we get it together, y'all? Sisters, can we get it together? And brothers, don't y'all want to feel like a man? Don't you want to be able to come home and know that you pay the bills right here? This is my house and I live here. Don't you want to know that your kids respect you and they look up to you, and that you're there in the house with your children, and that when they need you, dad is there? He's not somewhere far away. If they sick and they want their daddy, he's just in the other room. Don't you want to come home to a woman that loves you and respects you for the man that you are and the blessing that you are to the household? And don't mind making you a plate because you worked hard all day, and there's nothing more joyful to her than to see your joy when you see the love in the plate that she made you and she bring it to the table after you done went out there and worked your ass off and you come home and she done made dinner for you. She done cleaned up the house. She done washed your clothes, your uniform, or whatever the fuck you do for work is ready the next day. She ain't trying to run out to the goddamn club. Instead, she's saying to you, baby, how we get out this race rat? Look, let's start a business. Let me help you do this over here. Let's venture into some things. You know, I was reading this today, and I was thinking maybe if we get into this, let's learn to push each other to be better. Sisters, don't you want to look up and there's a man coming home to you that loves you, loves your kids, that would defend and protect you? And if need be, he'll kill a motherfucker for you and give his life for you. And what I mean by that is, because I know people gonna say, I've heard people say this, that brothers be out here and all this shit and women be getting them in fights. I'm not talking about the brother down the street was fucking with me, go check him. I'm talking about the fact, if somebody busts up in your house at night, who you think's finna fight that man to the end and either kill him or die to make sure that you and them kids is okay? Your ass can't. Shout out to you, Black Freedom. Sisters and brothers need sisters. Sisters need brothers and brothers need sisters. The universe works with feminine and masculine energy. It's a balance. This is what I'm saying. And this is why we losing our minds, sisters. We gonna stop acting like every motherfucking thing that we have in life, we happy about it. We not happy. Shout out to you, Sid. Thank you for that. I do see it. I think you and your son have a wonderful relationship. I thought that was really dope, right? And somebody said they want them tax returns. Fuck them tax returns. But sisters, let's be real. I don't give a fuck if you get you a motherfucking episode, a series, a movie on Netflix, and you just raking in all the dough. If you have children, even if you don't have children, there's only so much in life that you can have. And we're not going to sit here and act like we don't want a man. And we don't want a good man in our life. Because we do. Because that money does not replace cold beds. That money does not replace a dude that might come give you some. But when he look at you, he don't look at you with no love. He's not the kind of man that you can take your eyelashes off for and that whole fucking fake ass face that he love you for who the fuck you is. With all the makeup and all the wigs off, sisters. Highly Favored said, that's stupid to say we won't allow men to be strong. I didn't say that you wouldn't allow men to be strong. That's not what I said. I gave you a whole lot of reasons of why men weren't where they were. And let me tell you something. I have seen plenty of women. So if we want to take it there, I didn't say we don't allow men to be strong, but I would tell you this. I watch plenty of women not even let men discipline their own kids. That's the day and age that we live in, if you don't know. I have watched fathers try to be fathers and watch mothers check them. I have watched kids go over their daddy house and guess what? And they get in trouble at their daddy house and then mama called them up and start talking about, why is you telling him this and telling him that? I watch mothers intervene all the time and don't even let dads be dads. Let my kids bring their ass home, talk about something daddy did that I ain't like when I was at his house. And I remind them every time I said, well, where you was? At my daddy house? Okay, so take that up with your daddy. It ain't got nothing to do with me. So what you got in trouble? That's your daddy's rules. That's at his house. That has nothing to do with me. I don't interfere with the household of their father and how he disciplines them and things of that nature. Because if he was over there acting up and he got rules, then goddamn it, you was acting up and he got rules. Shout out to you, Rachel. Thank you. I love you back. Thank you for that. So I didn't say that we don't allow men to be strong, but I have watched some women who don't. I watch men walk away from women all the time because you just won't let him be a man in his own house. I promise you. So maybe you're not that way. Maybe you haven't done that, but I see that all the time. And I see women who claim that they love their men, and as soon as they get mad at their man, the first thing they do is be like, you out bitch ass nigga. They always a bitch as soon as we get mad. So I'm saying this is what I see a lot of. Look, Ray said that's his situation. So it works on both sides. Like you get brothers who don't want to be the men they're supposed to be. And you get women who don't want to let brothers be who they're supposed to be and be the women that they're supposed to be. It's okay, sister, to take off all of this motherfucking fight. It really is. It's okay to take off this fight. And this is the problem, is that we have our fight on too goddamn much that when it comes time to take it off around our men, we don't even know how. We forever wear this armor called, you ain't finna play me. I'm always watching my back. This world is cruel to black women, so I'm always stay ready to fight a motherfucker. Like, I understand that we get that. I get that. But we got to learn when to take that armor off. We wear it too often and we wear it home and we use it against those that we say that we love. I don't care what you say. There's not a woman alive in the Black community that wants all of the issues she has and does not want a man to help her in her life balance out everything. We do. Sometimes we just don't even know how to let y'all in. And that's the truth. Because sometimes we make bad decisions or sometimes we get caught up in bad decisions, and men do the same thing, y'all. So I'm not just saying the ladies, but we do that. And then after a while, we build up a wall and then we don't even know how to let people in because we've made bad decisions, and then we judge everybody on everything that's been there. And then we have this idea. Sisters, can I ask you too, why do we always overlook the good guys? Because we'll get older and we'll say, ain't no good men. But when we was younger and we was out here making babies with dumbass boys, we was always wanted the thugs. You wanted the drug dealers, right? And now they in jail and your kids ain't got no daddy, but that's what we wanted. They dead now. Your kids ain't got no daddy, but we wanted the bad boy. Because the guy who was going over here doing what he's supposed to do, you know, it was kind of nerdy or whatever. He's kind of weird. Like he skateboarded and shit. This dude told her the gun. He skateboarded. We don't want the skateboarder. We want the thug. Well, the skateboarder's married now. He has 4 kids. He stays at home with all his kids and his wife. But we wanted the thug. So let's just be real. For those of us that say no good men, are we, like I said this before, are we what we're asking for from somebody else? Because if you ain't got your shit together, let me tell you something too. Don't no man want to come. That's fairy tale movie shit. Don't no man just come out and be like, yo, I'm gonna just find me a sister in the hood. Like you being on Section 8, like that shit is appealing to me, girl. I just want me a project chick that I'm gonna just take and just carry her on to a nice community and shit. Brothers want you to have some shit going on too, okay? A man is really about something, wants a woman that's about something too. If he doesn't want you to be about anything, it's because he wants to control you. If a man wants a weak woman, it's for a reason. And if a woman wants a weak man, it's for a reason. But if you really want a good man, I would ask you, and men, if you want a good woman, are you a good man? And are you a good woman? This is what I would ask you. So I'm going to go over these solutions one more again, and then we're going to get out of here, right? So I'm going to tell you right now, as far as women go, right? Black men, yes, we want you to step up to the plate. We're not saying there's not any good men out there, but we need you to step up to the plate. But women, it starts with us. And the reason it starts with us is because we have these children and we decide to have these babies. And we decide to bring them into broken families and broken homes when the first line of defense of not letting that happen starts with us. So we can't be upset about that. If I say that, that's the truth. Nobody can make you have a baby. Nobody makes you have a baby. You decide to have a baby. And we keep bringing babies into bad situations so that we don't have these great families, right? So, sisters, I need y'all to look at yourself a little bit more precious. I need you to understand that your children are very valuable, that this is your legacy and it's supposed to matter. I know that they got us fucked up and we don't think that it does. So I'm going to need y'all to take a little bit more time. And I'm going to need you to take time to get to know yourself, love yourself first, and then don't require any less than that. Don't have any babies until you're ready to have a family. Because men by nature is very sexual beings, especially when they're young. They will make 50 babies with all of y'all women if you let them. And I'm not saying they're wrong for that. What I'm saying is don't fucking let them get you pregnant. Don't have babies if you're not ready. Make it a point. Make it a point, sisters. If there's anybody young here, then you ain't got no kids yet, and you want to have some kids, don't have no kids until you get married. Don't have no kids till you with somebody that want to make a family with you. Children are supposed to be birthed into families. We don't have families, and we're constantly having kids. And then we're mad because our kids don't have any daddies. You have a part to play in that too, and we got to take that responsibility. And I don't know about y'all. I don't want a fucking child support check. Child support checks don't raise kids. So even if you're getting a child support check in this motherfucker, you're still not doing a great job as a mom if that dad is not around raising that baby. So stop looking at your kids as paychecks, because when they grow up and they're in jail and they're causing you all of this stress because you just wanted the daddy's check, but despite him because he got a new girlfriend, you refuse to let him see his kid. Then when your kid grow up giving you heartache because daddy's not there, see if that check gonna help you with the pain of your child being in jail or your child being dead because they was running these streets looking for something that they really wanted from their daddy, but you didn't let them get it because you thought a check was more important. Because you wanted to get back at him and his new girlfriend. Judge P said they got married, but neither one of them was really ready. Well, at least you took that step, like I said, with my kids. My kids had the pain of saying my mom and my dad divorced, but not that I don't know who my daddy is or that they don't understand that marriage is something that you do. My children have seen a marriage, and that's what I decided that I wanted for them. So let me say, all of y'all can do it. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody because I've been in the same position. I made the same dumb mistakes, but I only made them once, and I said I wasn't doing that shit anymore, right? I said I wasn't doing that shit anymore. Oh, and somebody said giving the baby to the grandma. So let me throw this out there too. Sisters, stop this grandma shit. Okay? All of this, I'm too young to be a grandma. Shut that shit the fuck up. Just shut it up, please. Be a grandma. It's called a grandmother. Just be a grandmother. We swear that there's something wrong with being that. I just seen a video today on YouTube. A grandmother, somebody's mama, and he had all kind of money. Did y'all see this shit? It wasn't YouTube, it was Instagram. He got all kind of liquor, Moscato, like 50 kind of liquors. It's like 10 cups lined up, and each one has money underneath it. And I think if she drinks it all, each cup she drinks, she gets to take the money from underneath of it, and it comes out to be $100. Now this chick old as fuck. It's his mother, and you can tell she's old enough to be a grandma. And it's her son in the picture. And he's like, yeah, drink that, mom crazy. And I'm like, this ignorant as fuck. So this is what our grandparents are? So we got a woman on here old enough to be a motherfucking grandma, and this chick is over here chugging cups of money, and every time she do, she putting this shit in her bra. Trifling as fuck. This is what grandmas are becoming. Somebody said grandmas is 35. I was a grandma in my 30s. I'm a grandmother. For those of you that don't know, and I'm not a grandma. Nigga, I'm a grandma. I had a kid at 16. My son did too. My first child did. I remember when I was that age. But what I didn't do is turn my back on my son and tell him, oh, I'm not gonna do nothing. I'm a grandma, and that's his child. And guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna be, yes, she called me Nana. I don't get called grandma, but Nana. Because that's the dynamic of the family. I don't give a fuck how young I am. My child had a child. I'm a grandmother now. And I'm not ashamed of that. And y'all gonna stop acting like that too. That shit is ridiculous. If you're ashamed of the fact that you're a grandma in your 30s, then be ashamed of the fact that you didn't raise your teenage child right, that they turned around and had a fucking baby before you was ready to be a grandma. Because if you ain't ready to be a grandma, what the fuck make you think that they ready to be a parent? Oh, because grandparents are secondary. It ain't really our responsibility to take care of the kids. So if you're not ready to be a grandparent, even though you've raised kids and everything else on your own, what the fuck make you think your child was ready to be a parent? So since that's your child, you have to take some accountability in the fact that they had a baby real young, and you better hold that grandma, hold that motherfucking L grandma, and be a grandma. If your child got to look crazy being a parent at 16, 15, 17, then let your ass look crazy being a grandma at 34. That's just what it is. Stop shying away from having families. Ain't shit wrong with that. And I think somehow we think something's wrong with that. We think something's wrong with being moms, being dads, having fathers in the home, letting men run shit sometimes, and letting them be the person in the house that's the protector, the provider, that's out there helping you do shit. We think that it's something wrong with everybody being in the house, being a family. We think there's something wrong with fucking grandparents being there and spending time with the kids. That's called a family unit. And so many of us don't have it. And regardless of how the fuck we got here, yes, society put us in this position. Yes, it is a weapon used against us as Black people. But at the end of it all, it's up to us to change this shit. So if we understand, then you should start right here and right now with where you are in your life. And if you've already gone so far that you have kids, you've made these mistakes, then start being better today. And instead of telling your kids you're right about everything, tell your kids you made some fucked up decisions in your life and that you don't want them to take the path as you, and explain to them why you don't want them to do it. And tell them, even as your mama, I've made some mistakes and I shouldn't have done these things and they affect you in your life. Me and my daughter had that conversation today too. Talk to your kids about being wrong. Talk to them about not taking the same road that you took. And then do everything you can do to get up and show them a better version of that today. Starting right the fuck now. You can't take nothing back yesterday, but you can damn sure move forward. And what I really need some of us to stop doing, sisters, too, is that if you don't have a man yet, I don't care if you date 50 dudes, do not introduce your motherfucking kids to another man until it's the man that you have spent enough time with, that you feel you want to build a family with him, and that your children will be a part of his life. Stop introducing your kids. Date as many men as you want until you find the one that you want to be with that are worthy of meeting your kids. I date. My kids ain't seen me with a motherfucking man since they daddy. And they won't. You know when you somebody special to me, because my kids will know the fuck about you. That sets a bad image too on your boys and your girls. So this is the situation we're in, women. Whether you want to believe it or not, we the heads of the households, right? We strong, we powerful, we run everything. So I think we ought to get it together. And I think the first thing we ought to do in getting it together is back down a little bit and let men be a part of our lives. It's okay. It's necessary. It's needed for all of us, for the sake of the Black future. But we're not going to have no Black family. And if we can't have unity when it comes to families, we will never have fucking communities. We will never have neighborhoods. And we will never be unified enough to get somewhere. We will always be enslaved in this country if we can't even come together as family units, because they're important. There's a father for a reason. There's a mother for a reason. For a reason. And if you don't have all of that intact, nothing else matters. Fuck all this unity. Everybody like, oh, Black people need to come together and unite. If you can't even fucking unite on a smaller micro level to create families, what the fuck makes you think that we're all going to unite on a larger level? It ain't happening. You can't unite with Black people all across this nation that you don't know and don't have no tie to if you can't simply unite with your baby daddy and you can't unite with your baby mama. So let's start there with our families and our children. You can't take back nothing you did, brothers and sisters, up to this point, but you can damn sure start from where you live in today. So I'm going to end this in saying, brothers, we need y'all. We need y'all to step up to the plate. I know sometimes that we act like we don't. I know that we have this wall and this mechanism of fighting, but it is something that has been ingrained in us. Because of this country, they've taken all of our men away from us. We feel very vulnerable. And when you feel very vulnerable, you put up a wall and you come across tough because it's what you need to do to survive. It's not what we want to be. It's what we've been forced to become. And if enough of us sisters would take a moment to take a deep breath, we would all realize that this is not really where we want to be. We do what we got to do, but it's not what we want to do. So we do need y'all. We don't want you to put on dresses. We don't want to belittle you. We don't want y'all to run away from us, but we definitely want y'all to learn how to be better men and be the men that we need y'all to be, so that we have something to respect, something to honor, something to look up to, something to say, you know what, baby? I trust you. We try and trust brothers and y'all play on our emotions a lot. It's hard to trust y'all sometimes, right? But we want to trust you. We don't want to do this shit alone. We don't hate y'all. We need y'all. And even the women who keep saying that, they just don't know. But they do. And part of their anger and them saying we don't need you and we don't give a fuck about you and fuck a man is really them saying I've been hurt by my daddy, by men, and every fucking thing else. And really what we're really saying is that we do want something different. We just never seen nothing different. So we don't think it's anything any different. And we just in so much pain and hurt. It's like, fuck it, I just do it myself. Fuck it, I'm gonna just do it myself. But we don't want to do it by ourselves. We really don't, if we be honest. So the white man in the country and the government and white supremacy put us all in this situation. If we had a choice to go back and do it, and if we knew what it would do to us now, then we might have done things different. But we got to start from where we are, right? So let me say, To all of the brothers, we need you. Don't believe the hype. Even when sometimes it's coming from our mouths, because we lying too. We just don't know what the fuck we need, right? And sisters, let me say to you, I love you. And I know that this life is not easy for you being a Black woman. And I know that with all of the strength that we have, that we're not going to sit back and wait for somebody to give us something that we need. We're not going to sit back and just squander and wait and say, oh, I'm just going to wait on a man. I get that. I get that. But I want you to know that we are at our best for our families, for our children, for our communities, when we work in the feminine energy that we have, being powerful in that right, being loving, being caring, being the nurturers that we are. Our communities are filled with so much hate, but we're the nurturers. We're the lovers. We're supposed to be the ones that care. So when women have gotten so hard that we don't love, we don't care, we don't nurture, our hope is lost in that sense. And know that we bring that to the table. And that's something that we have that men cannot give. And we have traded that shit in for survival in this country. Shout out to you, Oakland Sister Native. Much love to you too, sis. So I get why we where we are. I'm very much like y'all. Y'all hear me tell men all the time, I'll punch you in your face. I told Dr. Watkins, nigga, I'm punch you in your face. I shouldn't have to say that though to him, you know what I'm saying? But I do. I walk around here with this fight, and yeah, there's this aggression and all of that. But that's not when I'm at my best. And that's not when you're at your best either, sister, because that is not our position. We're at our best when we can love, we can reason with our emotion of how we feel. Instead of being so mean, instead of being so upset, we should be able to see the best in everybody and push our children to where they need to be and encourage them to who they need to be. But we don't know who the fuck we're supposed to be, so we don't have an encouragement for anybody else. I will, Jalissa. Thank you for that. So I get it. I'm not mad at y'all, sisters. We're just a product of where we've been, but we got to start doing something different because we are the love in our community. We are the light in our community. And without us, there is none. And this is why we live in a community of so much hate and so much of our people running rampant and not knowing what direction to go and not feeling cared for. Our children are committing suicide like never fucking before. Our kids are dying like never before in the motherfucking streets and in these gangs. And it all comes down to the fact that they're looking to belong. Let them belong and feel loved at home first before anything else. And as the nurturers, we're off working. We're off trying to be the men. We're off working 2 jobs and our kids are being neglected. It doesn't make you a bad parent, but what it means is nobody is loving the kids. Nobody's nurturing the babies. Nobody's teaching them to be secure in who they are. Nobody's telling them that you're fine the way you are, baby. Nobody's sitting down having conversations and saying, you don't have to care about what other people say. Let me tell you about yourself and having some pride in who you are. Nobody's there to wipe their tears and bake them some fucking cookies while you have a conversation with them. Our children are in depression. They're ready to die. And you ain't even noticed them in 3 weeks. They've been in their room, locked in their room, crying. And they want to die, and you ain't noticed it because you working 2 jobs, because you the man, because you got everything going on in your house, because we don't need no men. And our babies are suffering and they're dying because you're the nurturer, you're the lover, you're the one that's supposed to help them through their hurt and their pain. Their daddy give them logic, and you just give them that hug on them that says it's going to be all right. They get beat down enough by the world, but they have no structure, they have no discipline, and they don't get the love they need. So understand me that we are at our best at a Black community, when Black women can be what they need to be in their femininity. Your children need that from you. Your men need that from you. And brothers, we need your protection. We don't want to be the men anymore. Can we relinquish that in 2020? Fuck some feminism. How about we say we don't want to be men anymore? What the fuck you want to be like a man for? They're different for a reason. They're different for a reason. There are things that men can't do that we can do. And there are things that they can do that we can't do for a reason. So bring what they can't do to the table. Let them bring what we can't do to the table. And we'll all be better for it. Because until we figuring this shit out, the divide between the Black man and the Black woman, our children are fucking suffering. and they're dying. And understand that our children are our future. So we don't fucking get it together, we don't have no future. So I'm telling the grown-ups to grow the fuck up. Grow the fuck up. Fuck a club. Bake some cookies for your kids instead of fuck home and watch some TV with them. Talk to them about their day in school. Ask them how they're doing in their life. We are powerful women, and we have squandered our power because our power ain't in fucking being tough. Our power is in the caregivers that we are. You ever walked into a man's house and you could tell no women live there? Why? Because it ain't a home. Now I walk into people's houses and I don't know if a man or a woman live here because they all just fucked up. Ain't no home to this motherfucker. I don't smell no food cooking in the kitchen. I don't see no fucking pictures on the wall or nothing your kid made at school on the goddamn refrigerator. I don't see anything around this motherfucker making it a home. It's just a house. It's just a building. That's your power. Black women, that's your power that God gave you. And we squander it every day trying to be like our men. Let the men be men and let us be women, goddammit, and maybe we will get somewhere. With that said, I'm going to get the fuck out of here, y'all, because I think I've said all that I can say. Somebody asked me to look back through the comments and could I do a part 2 because I guess it was some questions and some things that I didn't answer. So I will look back through them and I will write some things down. If there was some questions or some things to be addressed, and if it's some stuff that I didn't hit, then we will talk about this again. But I think I've said all that I can say in this moment. But just like I tell y'all, getting free, we're our answer. The issue between Black men and Black women being divided, that's solely our issue. And nobody's coming to fix that for us either, but us. So I think we need to start fixing it. And in order to do that, brothers, you got to look at yourselves. Sisters, you got to look at yourselves. You know better. If you watch this video, you know better. Once you know better, you what? You do better. Let's do better, y'all. All right? With that said, I'm going to get out of here. I hope nobody was offended. Sisters, I love you to death. I do. Brothers, I love you to death. I do. So I hope nobody is offended or think I took either side. I'm just telling what it is. That's all. I want to thank everybody for the donations that they gave. I know there was some in the end when I was going in, and I did not call them out. They went by really fast. But I want to thank you for those donations. I will be back tomorrow, you guys, and I'm going to talk about manifesting. Right? Somebody told me to do Spirituality Sunday. So tomorrow I will be back. I will be talking about manifesting. I've had a lot of people hit me up and ask, how do you manifest? You know, what is that like? How do you go from that? I mean, we've all learned how to pray and beg for something from the universe instead of commanding something from the universe, and how we just send it out and wait for it to come back. So we're going to talk a little bit tomorrow about that on Sunday, right? But the rest of y'all run off to church. We'll be over here talking about how the God in you can manifest anything you need in your life and how you do that, right? So we'll have that conversation tomorrow. I hope you guys will come back and tune in. Before y'all leave, y'all do me a favor. Like this video, right? Do that for me. That's something simple and easy y'all can all do. Like the video before you get up out of here. Share this video with as many Black people as you can, right? I think it's a very necessary conversation. And let it be a conversation starter. Play it and then have conversations in your home about it, right? Somebody said what time? I'm going to try, Antoinette, I'm going to try and be here tomorrow a little bit early. So maybe like 2 my time, which is like 4 p.m. Eastern, right? If I don't make it, because as a mom, my schedule kind of gets off, then I will be here around the same time I normally am, 8 p.m. Eastern, which is 6 my time. But I'm going to try 4 p.m. Eastern. So we will see. So between 4 and 8. So we'll get it, but I'm gonna try and come early. So we'll see. But I will definitely see you guys tomorrow. So again, like this video, share this video, you guys. Subscribe if you have not, hit that notification bell, because sometimes YouTube sends out notification, but at least you'll be subscribed. And if you don't get the notification, sometimes you will get to see it later coming through your feed and get to watch them. But y'all have a good night. Kiss your kids. Hug them tight, and then start doing something different tomorrow. They are future, and without them, the fuck we fight for freedom for? It won't be anybody left to have any freedom with, right? So I love y'all. Y'all have a good night, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.